French Guiana. Yeah, always green behind.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Creative Lounge. In today's episode, we'll be talking to Tiago, a guy who knows how to live his life to the fullest. Hey Tiago, thank you so much for being with us today at the Creative Lounge. It's a huge pleasure to have you and I can't wait to learn more about you and your lifestyle. So, as a quick introduction, I would like to ask you to introduce yourself by telling us 3 things that we should know about you.
Okay, first thing, I'm Brazilian from the south of Brazil. I worked for 10 years as an engineer, and once I said, why not to change my life, why not to learn a new language? And then I said, let's go to another country which speak English and let's learn it. I choose at that moment New Zealand. What was a great experience. I lived there almost 4 years. Was amazing. So other thing, I believe that our body is our temple. I keep it really well, really healthy as much as we can. Other thing I can tell about me is I always miss home, always miss my family, my friends, my close friends, my life in Brazil. I always say I never run out of my lifestyle in Brazil. I just want to get more experience, new cultures, new language, meet new people is my passion right now. Same as meet new places.
Well, I must say that's an impressive introduction. I love it. One thing I want to ask you right away is, what do you do for a living? Because I think all of us, we want to travel, but how do you find the time? And can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Yeah, sure. It's a curious thing for everyone, right? They ask me, I still traveling, Tiago? Wow, your dad must be really rich. How do you do that? So I started my career really early in Brazil. In Brazil, we start working when we are in university. I worked for 10 years as an engineer in Brazil. And as I said before, 27 years old is something on my mind, and seeing other some people around me traveling, and I say, I'm gonna do same. And I bought 6 months of English school in Auckland, and answering your question, I have been working in construction area since I left Auckland 6 months after leaving Brazil. I have been working all the time while traveling around because I always sat in one place and discover around with my bicycle, always pushing my bicycle.
And which comes first? You decide on the location and then you find job there, or whenever you find job, that's where you move to explore a little bit?
No, always I choose the location, and after I got always in some hostels. After that, look for a job. The first time happened was here in French Guiana, that I come here with accommodation and job. That happened in New Zealand when I was hiking some mountains, overnight hiking, and I met a French guy who loves hiking as well, and we become really good friends. We spent, I think, 2 weeks in New Zealand. I was working, he was just traveling by the moment, and he got a van in New Zealand, also traveling around, and we become friends. We kept in touch. So here I was a bit stuck in Brazil, and my friend said, why don't you come here? You can live with me. So this is the house, this is the backyard, and I also have a job for you.
What is one place that really stood out for you?
I really love mountains. Mountains are the place where I would like to spend more time. Some experience that I had in Patagonia, in Villa Rohings, in the end of Carretera Austral, Ruta 7 in Chile. We went there with no much expectation, with no much knowledge about hikings there, because our travel were always in rush, always moving, camping and moving to another place to explore more and more, with 42 days. And there we could sit down for one day, and me and my Colombian friend, we went to Mount Valley, or Trail Valley, that in the end of this trail has a big glacier with a lot of natural modifications. Like, glaciers, when it melts down and it destroys, but also is a new life. So in the end of this trail we could see a huge lake of rocks. I can tell it was not like a common thing to see a huge place like that with just rocks in the same level, covering some already dead trees, and we could see the rocks come and cover everything on the ground. And yeah, that place really made me impressed.
You're doing a lot of extreme sports. I can see you running with the camera, and like some of the sceneries are like, from my perspective, just looks so scary. And there's even like a photo here that I have put, and it's from Amolafasa, and you're just sitting at the edge of the rocks there at the mountain, and it just looks so scary. So can you tell us about any other like scary experiences that you had while traveling?
I could specify one moment in my life that happened on Saturday, and in New Zealand, in Queenstown. I was at home on Saturday. I was expecting to go for a run around a mountain close to my city. And then my boss, by the time, called me and said, "Oh, Tiago, could you please work this Saturday?" And he already knew that I hate work overtime on the weekends, because he is already a climber, so he knows that, yeah, we got the weekend to explore. So okay, so I said, "Yeah, man, of course, where it is?" And he said, "In Artunstown." And Artunstown is where the trail passed through. And I said, "Oh, okay." So I knew that I was going with another guy, my coworker, and I said I can go with him, and then maybe if we leave early, I can finish the trail after work. So we were expecting to finish work around 1 or 2 p.m. maximum, and it never happened. We finished around 4 p.m. It was winter in Queenstown, full of ice and snow on the mountains, and I left just with a short, long sleeve t-shirt and no backpack. Got night pretty early, pretty soon after I started it. I was on the mountain, and I was not expecting that the snow was like above the snow was a little layer of ice. So when you step on, you break the first layer of the ice, and then the layer on with my foot in start to hurt my front leg, and then was really hard to continue. So I had to slow down and care more about my next step. So the way up was hard, but the way down was much harder, and I was feeling really cold at the moment. I fell on the ground many times, and that moment I said, "Oh my God, I'm gonna die," and I was feeling really cold and said, "Oh my God," I was falling on the ground. I was there, and it was already hard to get up, and a bit lost where I was also, because I didn't have any light. just getting a direction from like a big remarkable mountain, just like pointing towards the town. And yeah, I went down, I fell many times. When I got at the top of the gondola, that moment I had no money, and I arrived at the gondola and I could see my legs and my arms in under the light, and I see I was really hurt, blooding everywhere. And then the guy said, "Yeah, go down my gondola, go down my gondola." And it was, I think, $50 or $20 by the time to go down, and they just set me in one, and they said, "Yeah, go down." So that time I felt like, wow, I could die in a place that is not far from my house.
What a story. I'm glad that you managed to get home safely. And speaking of like terrifying experience, what about a fun experience?
Sports is one thing that makes me so happy that I cannot explain. Is just adrenaline passing through my veins, through my blood and mind. And I always do sports and train. Sometimes I never call it train. I call it happiness. I call it do what I like. I'm not training. I'm just doing something that makes me happy, and I cannot live one day without some sports. Can be swimming, can be paddle. Here I'm paddling so much. I mean, getting this opportunity to be able to paddle big pirogues, canoes that I haven't never been on in my life. I'm paddling this kind of huge canoes, and yeah, enjoying what I don't have in other places.
What is one thing that you wanted to achieve for a long time, or something that you had as a goal that you managed to achieve?
No, I never have like big dreams. I have many places that I want to visit, and some of these places I know that is really expensive, for example. So it's kind of like I want to go there, but I don't have plan to go there. But I have always like short goals. For example, here in French Guiana, I want to work a bit longer to be able to buy a big truck and go down to my hometown in Brazil. It's gonna be a nice experience following the coast of Brazil, and yeah, this is my goal now.
What is one advice that you would like to give to someone who would like to travel around the world like you do?
The thing that the advice we can tell is to try to do the first attempt, and if it is not successful, you can always try again, or be prepared to try again, because something that you are gonna do for the first time in your life, maybe it's not success, is normal, right? So be able to try again. It's like Bear Grylls says, like, never give up. It's a really good thing to say. My dad always says like, try, and reach.
And last question from my side. You've traveled a lot, you've done a lot. Can you tell us what you learned out of those experiences?
No judgments, and we see different cultures, we see different people coming from different places that you come from. We cannot judge, right? Like for example, for me, from Brazil is a really special thing to see Asians, for example. They are super different, but they are awesome. They are different. They are not strange. They are different. and for me is what I most learned the past few years. No judgment. Always think to learn with them. They know different things than you, so no judgments. Politicians and cultures, right, is something that is impressive.
Well, that was everything for today. I hope you enjoyed this interview with Tiago, and I hope you got inspired to travel more, explore more, and most importantly, wake up every day with the idea that today is going to be a special day. From me, Stefan Dimov, I'll see you next time.